Westbourne Grove. Excuse me, driver. I've changed my mind. Take me to Wardour Street.
Yuri Semanov. There's no one else here, just us two.
I must be certain.
Well, there was an heavy breather in booth two, but he's gone.
They are following me.
I doubt it. If they are, it's out of force of habit. We'll stick one of them on the South Pole, he'd start tailing the nearest penguin.
It is not a joke.
So what you got for us?
More to the point. What have you arranged for me?
I asked first. Listen carefully. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Got that?
1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3.
We try to make it simple. You ring that number, let it ring 5 times, then ring off, right?
1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 5 rings. Yes.
Count to 10, ring the same number again.
Yes.
That's only if it's urgent.
And for ordinary contact?
We'll tell you that later. I've just given you that number just in case something goes wrong tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah. Tonight, you're going to eat in Soho. And between 9:05 and 9:30, there'll be a taxi parked behind the gents' toilets in Broadwick Street. Its number is 123, same as the phone, so you won't forget.
No.
Get in the cab.
Where will it take me?
You'll find out.
You are going immediately to give me asylum?
Oh, that's up to my superiors.
But I must know.
Sit down. Sit down.
Why?
Now, you can sit here and watch the pictures. You give me 3 minutes at least.
But I must know what...
Broadwick Street, Gents Bog. Taxi, 2105 to 2130. Later than that, you're out of luck.
You say these check?
The photographs of the wing section blueprint coincide with what British Aerospace say they lost.
Splendid.
Captain, I'm sorry to be so stupid, but if the Russians have these already, how does it help us to get them back again?
Because they don't know that we know that we've lost them.
Ah. So?
So, British Aerospace can now modify the design with impunity, always assuming their security has improved, leaving the Russians studying the obsolete version.
Oh, I see.
And by the same token, Comrade Semyonov doesn't know that we got this tank information of his from poor old Kopachy in Budapest some time ago. Nor will we tell him.
No, quite.
Joe, see what Flossie's got on the staff structure of the Russian embassy, will you? On the other hand, it is, of course, quite on the cards that Semyonov does know that we have the tank information and only wants to test our reaction. It can all get rather complicated.
Yes, clearly. Like, why are we so interested in Yuri Semanov in the first place? He's pretty small fry, isn't he?
On the surface, perhaps. Now then, notice anything unusual?
Well, there's been more toing and froing of late. The assistant military attaché and the cultural attaché both about to be recalled home. That's not too extraordinary, surely?
Unless it puts a certain individual in line for promotion.
You mean our friend Semyonov?
I mean our friend Semyonov. He is of great potential value to us. However, at this stage, it's better that he doesn't know that we know that.
Oh dear, it's getting complicated again.
Time I was off, Gov.
Ah, right. I'll join you there. Joe, will you record my conversation with Semyonov from here? The fewer of us that he sees, the better.
Dead on time, good.
Where are we going?
You're gonna meet the governor.
Who is he?
You'll see.
But where is he?
You'll find out.
Mr. Semanov, may I offer you a vodka?
A vodka? Why not?
This is a Russian vodka. Impregnated, it would appear, with rust and decaying shrimps, but that can't be right. Now, Skorpian. Please sit down.
Thank you.
You wish to defect to the West.
I want freedom. I do not believe any more in communism. I want political asylum. I want a house in the country, not in the city.
Before we go into details of what you want from us, what are you offering in return?
I work in the Russian embassy. I'm assistant military attaché.
So you are presumably a member of the KGB or the GRU?
I am not a member of the KGB.
The GRU, then?
Yes.
Well, that's what one would expect from an assistant military attaché.
I will tell you all. Everything I know. In exchange, you will give me political asylum and other things. I will tell you what things.
I dare say something can be worked out.
Do you give me now political asylum?
No,
Then why do you bring me here like this?
because there is much to be arranged. As you no doubt know, if people defect from Russian intelligence and do not manage to disappear completely, their lives tend to be, in the words of Thomas Hobbes, nasty, brutish, and short.
Yes.
You will probably need plastic surgery.
Anything. And I will work. I do not want not to work. I am willing to work.
Well, so I should hope. It's not a charity that we are running. You will also need a cover story stretching back to the day of your birth with documentation. As you will appreciate, this all takes time.
I cannot wait too long. Already they are suspicious of me.
I doubt it.
How would you know?
Don't underestimate it. In the meantime, I'm sure you will want to help us as much as you can to prove that you are worth all our trouble.
I am worth it.
I hope so. And now my assistant will take you back to the West End and will explain to you how to keep in touch with us. It involves regular study of the advertisements in the evening paper. It's quite simple. He'll fill you in. Well, nice to meet you, Mr. Semanov.
But
I'm sure we'll meet again. Morning, Joe.
Morning, Captain.
I want 24-hour surveillance on Semanov. Do me a letter, a polite one, to Miller of Special Branch, to that effect, will you? What's the name of that man of ours who's retiring?
Do you mean Roberts? Teddy Roberts?
Roberts, yes. When's he leaving?
End of the month. Plans to devote his life to catching salmon on the Wye, or so he says.
Get hold of Roberts. Tell him to stand outside Semanov's office and report on all movements during daylight hours.
He'll be a bit conspicuous, won't he? It's not the easiest place to survey unnoticed.
Well, that doesn't worry me. I want him to be noticed. That's why I'm using Roberts. Oh, Joe, see if you can't become friendly with Semanov. Danny will brief you as to his movements. Make a change for you from manning the computer.
Semanov is leaving the attaché now, wearing a greyish sort of tweed jacket.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, he ran away with you. Oh, I'm so sorry.
This stuff's old hat.
Yeah, I know, Gov. I reckon he's deliberately feeding us all this rubbish till he gets what he wants.
Hedging his bets, would you say, in case we don't deliver?
And the time before last, he didn't show up until the third point of assignation. And last time, he didn't show up at all.
You say he's frightened?
No, Captain. I say he says he's frightened.
Out of 10, on a rising scale between terror and self-confidence, how would you score him?
2.5, if he's to be believed.
And is he?
I'm not sure.
Suppose, after all, he's KGB, a politico rather than a soldier.
He's something. He knows a hell of a lot about what to do if you think you're being tailed. Could be KGB, could be GRU, like he says. Whatever he is, he's been trained.
Or else he's read Le Carré. Make another rendezvous with him, Danny. Lean on him a bit. Tell him we want to know the command structure in Afghanistan, the thickness of armor on the new battle tank, failure rate of SAM-22 firings.
You mean make him work?
That's right.
Excuse me. Could you direct me to Kensington Palace?
Yes.
Go to here.
And then he dropped me back at my flat at 25 to 11.
A bit early. No amorous advances?
He's very puritanical. His idea of an evening out is to go to the cinema. It's in my report.
Oh.
He's a film buff.
Well, cheer up. Might have had a passion for chess.
It's always classic cinema. Last night it was La Grande Illusion. It was the 3rd time I'd seen it, and as far as I could gather, it was about his 20th. He knew it frame by frame.
You say here he seemed scared.
Oh, yes. I mean, for example, in the cinema, he suddenly made us move when a man came and sat down behind us. And when we had supper, it's one of those dreadful places that sells glorified hamburgers, he insisted on a table away from the window where he could watch the door.
You think all this is genuine? I mean, Danny wasn't sure.
I think you'll find he'll be keeping his appointment with Danny this afternoon.
Good. Why?
We'd arranged a date, a matinee of the bicycle thieves. Last night he said that something else had cropped up at the last moment, and could we go tomorrow instead?
Good report, this, Joe. Well done.
Captain, I think he honestly does want to defect.
Sensible fellow.
And I think he's really frightened.
Then he'll have to get over it if he's going to be of any use to us.
I could not get here sooner. I was followed.
Poor the other one.
I tell you, I was followed.
Sit down. Now then.
When will you be ready? I cannot wait much longer. Someone's been through my desk.
How do you know?
I put a hair across the top of the drawer.
Was there anything of interest in the desk?
Of course not.
Then there's nothing to worry about. What you got for us?
How many more times must I tell you? I will give you nothing more until I am satisfied.
That's not being very reasonable.
I am in danger. Every day the danger is greater. You do nothing for me. Is that reasonable?
The last time, you didn't show up.
I am being followed. All the time I'm being followed.
You didn't leave a drop in any of the dead letter boxes. You didn't ring. You didn't ring. You didn't do anything. Now, that's not very satisfactory from our point of view.
I tell you everything you want to know, and what happens to me? I'm no longer any interest for you. So now I tell you nothing more.
Up to you.
Not until I'm given asylum.
Chicken and egg, innit?
So you give me now the date and the time. You tell me now when you are ready for me.
That's not up to me.
Then who decides?
The governor.
Then why am I wasting my time with you? I want to see him again.
Well, that can probably be arranged.
When?
I tell you what. Keep reading the Standard.
Where are you going?
I've got things to do. If you've got nothing for me.
I have... If I give you now something, you will arrange that I see your governor?
Well, that's up to him. Well, I could put a word in.
You see, I keep my promises.
Thanks a bundle.
Classified ads?
I want a house in the country. Not in the town, in the country. I want $100,000 American in cash. I want for 5 years $50,000 a year. Then, nothing, because I will work. But for 5 years I want money, you understand? For 1 year, you can see me anytime for questions. After 1 year, not all the time, only some of the time. And I decide. Plus also, all questions will be asked by one same man in a place I choose.
I see.
After 5 years, no more questions. Plus also, I want documentation and your personal guarantee that only you know my real identity.
Mr. Semanov, I take the point.
Good.
You are perhaps thinking of what Philby did when Konstantin Volkov tried to defect in Istanbul.
You are a sensible man.
On the other hand, we too need guarantees.
I tell you what I know. That is my guarantee.
For example, supposing you are not quite what you say you are.
What do you mean?
What is your position at the embassy?
I have told you this. Assistant military attaché.
You are not. You are his junior.
He is a stupid man. He is a drunkard. I do all his work. That is why he's being called home. I will be promoted.
Point is, you lied to me about your position.
It was nothing.
It was a lie. Was it the only one? I wonder. Suppose, after all, you're KGB.
I am not KGB.
And suppose we went along with your demand to be interrogated in a house of your own choosing. What is to prevent you or your masters from equipping it with all those bugs and concealed cameras which form such a large part of Soviet industrial production? Then the next thing, you would be starring in a Soviet television program provided free to networks all over the world. The program would show, and it would be authentic, a fine communist lad being bribed by the capitalists to betray his country.
I would never do that.
It has been done before.
But there is no reason.
Yeah,
in
well,
this
let's
case
leave
to
that for
suspect.
a moment. Tell me, what sort of information are you thinking of giving us?
I know the names of 15 Soviet agents in Britain.
I know the names of rather more. I wonder if you know any that I don't know.
Mine are important people. In politics, in the trade unions, important people.
So are mine. Mr. Semyonov, I'm afraid I remain unconvinced that you have anything of real value to offer us. So far, you have told us nothing that we did not know.
Because I am not sure of you. I wait until I am sure, then I tell you what I know. All.
You small agents are a bloody nuisance. To keep a proper tail on you takes 12 of us, as many as 4 important people. I will be frank with you, the United Kingdom can no longer afford such indiscriminate luxury. So, unless you can persuade me of your good faith and the value of your information, we shall simply expose you, have you declared persona non grata, and get you sent home.
Are you saying you refuse to give me asylum?
I'm saying you have not earned it yet.
Yours is not the only country in the West.
I hardly think it likely that the USA would be any more enthusiastic than we are.
We can see.
Oh, well, why not? You start making your approaches, and meantime I'll have a word with my opposite number in the CIA.
There are other countries.
In all of which I have contacts.
You are a stupid man. You think you can cheat me? Nobody cheats me. You are a stupid man. You think you can cheat me? Nobody cheats me. I shall say, it's not me. I was never here. You have a good actor to imitate my voice.
Yeah, keep the tape. It's really of no value to me. Quite frankly, we record these things more out of habit than anything.
I tell you, you are making a big mistake. From now on, I give you nothing. You hear me? Nothing.
You're getting into deep water, aren't you, Mr. Semanov? Your revelations to date are of no value to us. But they're already enough to merit a firing squad for you back home, aren't they? Please sit down. Mr. Jones?
I have seen you somewhere.
Well, perhaps these will help to jog your memory. Mr. Jones, we'll call him that, shall we, outside your office. Mr. Jones rather obviously speaking into a cigarette lighter. Mr. Jones talking to you.
I remember now. He asked me, where is Kensington Palace?
Because I told him to. Mr. Jones being photographed by a member of your embassy staff. You'll have to look at this one fairly closely, who we've provisionally identified as Gregory Serdyuk.
That is stupid. You give this man away.
He's retiring in a week's time to spend the rest of his life fishing. Mr. Jones, I must apologize to you for not having briefed you more fully, but you do appreciate that it would have been more difficult for you to play your role had you known what role you were playing.
Yes, sir, if you say so.
These are pictures of you with my assistant here, getting into the taxi that he drives, walking with him in Baker Street. And oh yes, here he is leaving the art gallery, and you doing the same. You will notice that the man with the hold-all is on the right of that picture and about to exit left in this one. So the two pictures were taken within a few seconds of each other. And now we come to a lady whom you met recently. Here's your first meeting with her and her horse in Hyde Park, really quite romantic. Here are the two of you outside the Everyman Cinema in Hampstead, dining together tete-a-tete at the Wenghua Chinese restaurant.
They mean nothing.
No? Suppose your superiors were to see these pictures.
I would say your people made approaches to me, and I rejected them.
One approach they might accept. 3 surely would look like carelessness.
Also, all your people, they would be useless to you. You would have given them away. If they suspect me, then they must suspect them too.
Well, they already do. All of my people, or certainly most of them, are already on the KGB computers at Moscow Center, together with members of the MCC, the Athenaeum, and all clergy down to and including rural deans. Fortunately for my service, those computers of yours are so log-jammed with useless information that you very frequently cannot see the trees for the wood.
What is all this to do with the photographs? You talk rubbish!
Do I? I wonder. Just consider, even the most inefficient system can occasionally produce results. Your superiors would check on who you'd been seen with. And quite suddenly, the names of my people would stand out from the rest because they are relevant and because they would point inexorably to your guilt.
You do not give me asylum, so it is finished. I will not work for you anymore.
Oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will.
Why? Why should I do this?
Because you have no choice. It's the price you pay for betraying your country. We're really back in your territory, Mr. Jones.
Sir?
Fishing. Not a pastime of mine. I haven't the patience, and the odds are on the fish. But as I understand it, sometimes you use a small fish as a lure to catch a larger one. Hence the phrase, a sprat to catch a mackerel.
Yes, sir, that's quite right.
And sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, You throw back a small fish that you've caught, intending to catch it again when it has grown bigger.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to do with you, Semanov. We're going to throw you back. Oh yes, you will work for me, and really work from now on. You will be asked specific questions and will provide specific answers. Then there will be more questions and more. In due course, if you grow to be a big fish, we will land you again. And if we then grant you asylum, it will be because you have earned it. Take him away. Sprat, whiskey.
Thank you, sir.